Welcome back to The Mindful Spoon, a community where you heal your gut and you feed your soul. And today I'm really excited, maybe a little too excited, maybe a little nervous at the same time, because I know this can be a very triggering subject and topic for a lot of people. And it is the topic of anxiety. And I know this can be kind of tough to talk about sometimes, but I feel like talking to other people and listening about the topic and learning a little bit more can really relieve the mind and kind of create some freedom and some vulnerability around that topic. Because when you have anxiety, you sometimes feel very alone and you feel like no one understands you. But when you're able to talk to other people or hear things or learn things about anxiety, I feel like it's really important and I feel like it's very, very helpful. In this video, I will explain a little bit of the gut-brain connection and how healing your gut can have a huge impact in healing the emotion of anxiety. One of the biggest hints that we get as humans that there is a gut-brain connection is when we are backed up or constipated. Because when we are constipated, we're not in the best of moods. We feel uncomfortable, lethargic. These low states can trigger frustrations and anxious feelings simply because your body is having a difficulty digesting the food you've eaten. And if you're eating a lot of processed meats, fried foods, and refined cereals, that high and low of sugars and all that comes with it is likely to cause anxiety and depression. And vice versa. If you're anxious, some of the chemicals and hormones released in the body enter your digestive tract and interfere with your digestion. They have a negative effect on your gut flora and decrease antibody production, which is what we pretty much use to not get sick. So how can you help your gut and digestion when you're feeling anxious? Let me start off by saying that everyone is different. Personally, I like drinking teas like chamomile and peppermint and even roasted dandelion, especially when I'm anxious, because it gives me that warm feeling inside my body, kind of like when you're like toasted up in your little blanket and you're reading a book or you're by a fireside, or it's just you put the heater on or it feels really nice. It gives me that calming sensation. The chamomile has a hint of sweetness and coziness to it, while peppermint provides a cooling effect on the stomach muscles, which can help with digestion. And roasted dandelion has been historically proved to help with appetite. So if you're a stress eater, especially when you're anxious or stressed or frustrated, dandelion tea can be a great help. Another helpful food is fatty fish, specifically the omega-3s in fatty foods. There has been countless studies and research on how fatty fish can help relieve anxious feelings and depression. According to NCBI, the brain is rich in lipids and dietary fatty acids, which act within specific brain regions to regulate processes that impact emotional behavior. I personally love fish, but if you're not a fish person, try adding some spinach in your smoothies. That also has omega-3s. Try adding some strawberries and blueberries to your yogurt, which has antioxidants and omega-3s. Even mango, you can even snack on walnuts. I also personally find that the scent of orange is a great awakening smell and can create a very pleasing and awakening sense to our brain. Now, how can you relieve your anxiety? Number one is welcome humor. A good laugh goes a long way. Trust me, for the longest, I was so uptight and I took everything way too seriously. I never laughed at anything. Every time something went wrong, I would just get mad and frustrated and just give up. When I learned to laugh at things that were really just humorous and things that were patterns and that were meant to make me learn how to be more patient, the feeling of frustration and anxiousness towards my control of something completely vanished, and it really put me in a good mood to just laugh at things. Number two is learn what triggers your anxiety. Is it your friends, your family, who you're involving yourself with? Is it a place? Is it the workplace? Write in a journal when you're feeling stressed or anxious and try to figure out what the patterns are. Personally, I noticed that social media was a big triggering, especially because I had such a weird relationship with it where I was obsessed at looking at other people's things and was having conflict between posting my own content and comparing myself to others. So really reflecting back is really important because it allows you to really see what that pinpoint is. Number three is accept that you cannot control everything. Put things in perspective. Put your stress in perspective. Is it really as bad as you think? Now, I'm not saying to gaslight yourself and to really think that you're like over dramatizing everything, but think back to it. How bad is it? Number four is be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your body, and neither was your mind. So realize that this will take some time. This will take some practice, some sacrifices, some boundaries to create with other people. And that's completely fine because you're taking care of yourself. Number 5 is remember who you involve yourself with, who you hang out with, and what you watch every day. Because that really can affect your emotional state. One of the things that I noticed was as I was using more social media and looking at people and following people that I didn't really like, that I just simply compared myself to, and discouraged me to continue what I've been wanting to do for so long, I had to take action. I realized that I needed to unfollow and see who is inspiring to me and who isn't, who's contributing to my life. In this video, I also really want to show you kind of what I do. One of the things I do to relieve stress and anxiety is I like to plan things out, and it seems like it's been really working for me. It's kind of funny because today's daily affirmation was to learn how to celebrate your small wins, and I feel like before, every time I would plan something, I would cram everything into a calendar and cram everything into a to-do list and be like, oh my god, how am I going to get this done? And it would just make me more overwhelmed. But when I decided to create tiers and different calendars for different things, it really helped me out. So I would put the big picture, what I wanted to do, bullet points and how I can do it, how I can go about it, and then sub bullet points under that on what I can do now and what I can do later. And then from then on, I would start scheduling it into my days without having a lot of stress and feeling like I need to get everything done in the matter of a day. Number 2 is kind of weird, but I really like watching cottage fairy videos. I find them super pleasing. I also like watching videos of people who live in the mountains who have like very odd lives and very different lives from us. I'm gonna put a link below on all the videos that I've been watching that really soothe me, and I like to watch them towards the end of the day at night where I'm just kind of like shutting my brain down, and I'm more prone to be anxious during that time, so it really helps me to calm down. The third thing that I do is I seek nature. One of the things that I do is I like to go on walks very often. I feel like walks can be so meditative. The fourth thing that has helped me a lot is letting go of the feeling that I need to be on social media so often. I know I keep mentioning social media a lot, but that had been a huge impact and a huge trigger for me that caused anxiety. But taking a social media break is chef's kiss, y'all. It makes you realize how productive you can be to be yourself and not to be someone else that you're trying to emulate or that you're looking up to. Before I close out this video, I want to make sure I provide a little bit more content for you guys and more information that will help you out. So here are some questions that you can ask yourself that may help you relieve some stress or worries that you have. I've also created a printout version of these questions that you can easily print out or fill them out however you like. This is intended for you to use it and for you to really reflect and find the patterns in your life. Find the patterns that are really triggering you and really triggering your anxiety. Question number 1, is this worry realistic? Is this really likely to happen? If the worst possible outcome would happen, what would be so bad and what would be so good about it? Can you handle the good and can you handle the bad? What can you do? If something bad happens, what can that mean about me? Is this really true or does it seem that way? What can I do to prepare for whatever can happen? And if you need any more help when it comes to anxiety and depression and you see that something is very serious, please make sure that you go see a therapist, you go see a doctor, a professional. I'm definitely not a professional in this field, but it is something that I do want to go and help out with whatever I can. Remember to seek help and to talk to others because that is just a huge part of relieving anxiety, and I hope this video helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe down below and like this video if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you try any of these tips and tricks out. I really want to know if they are helpful. I'm open to learning as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye guys.